Welcome back, everybody. Neil Cavuto today coming to you to beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. You know, they're planning these Tea Party rallies pretty much across the country. Last year we were in Sacramento, California, but I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia as a kid, and I said, you know what, I want to go back there because it's this great fast food place, the Varsity, but I digress. But it's really beautiful people, beautiful city, beautiful state. That's increasingly become a swing state and a swing region, and this is the epicenter of it all. And talk about a guest who was ahead of this movement. In fact, for the better part of 3 decades, she has been championing the same cause that has essentially become that of the modern-day Tea Party. I'm talking about Ginni Thomas. She is the Liberty Central CEO. You might know her as the wife of Clarence Thomas, that fellow who sits on the Supreme Court. Not enough of him. Back to her. Virginia, very good to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
You know, when you come out and meet the Tea Party people, they get closer. The closer you get to them, the more you like them. So I'm glad you're here, Neil, and I'm glad I'm here because it feels good to be with the first responders for our country right now.
Now, they've been described in polls and in the front page of the New York Times today in a survey as not really representative of America. Lily white, better educated, higher income. What do you make of that?
Well, fortunately, I've done some market research for Liberty Central.
I'm surprised you have.
And there's 57 million people who are information seekers out here who happen to be conservative. And there are people who are caring about our country and what we're at risk of losing. And in terms of education, in terms of income, there is no distinction. They're all ages, all incomes, it's very encouraging. Certainly there could be more mixture of races out here. I agree with you there, but we'll get there.
What do you make of the fact that it's always portrayed in the media, well, it's gotten more coverage of late, and certainly since the election of Scott Brown in Massachusetts, that even he tends to avoid Tea Party functions, including the big one in Boston, and even he wants to kind of, it seems, I don't want to put false words there, keep his distance.
Look, Liberty Central will be bigger than the Tea Party movement, to be honest with you. We're starting with new citizen activists. There's no doubt that that's our primary audience as we start, but we're also looking for Democrats, Republicans, independents, moderates who are coming the way of our founding principles. So I think the more you get to know them, there's nothing to be afraid of.
If you don't mind my slightly referring to your husband in the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Breyer was indicating today that he would be intrigued looking at the legality of this health care law that was just passed. I'm probably misparaphrasing it. But what do you make of that? Should this be a big issue that settled in courts, not in Congress?
You know, Neil, I love that question, but I can't help you on that one.
Understandable. You knew I was going to ask it.
I didn't know, but Liberty Central will not do litigation and will not touch legal issues. We're in the policy arena. I'm a citizen. I'm trying to express my views and participate with those.
Ask you a question about your husband. He opts not to go to State of the Union addresses or speeches in the well of the House. So he was not among those Chief Justices who were in the House when the President cited the Supreme Court. Why does he do that?
You have to ask him, Neil.
Come on. Is he afraid he'll be...
No, he's not. He's never afraid, I'll tell you that.
He just doesn't want to be part of it.
Look, you got to ask him. He's out there. He's talking to people.
Has he ever told you, I'll never be there until hell freezes up?
I can't. I'm not here to talk about my husband, who I love. He's the best man walking the face of the earth. But we're here for the country, Neil.
Now, when you look at the country, though, when you look at what's going on with this movement, they say they're taking America away, it's becoming socialist, and when average folks hear that, it scares them. Is the intent of this group or your group to scare people or to wake them up? What is it?
You know, everyday citizens have come to the rescue of this country for time immemorial. Since we started, the Revolutionary War was everyday citizens. Everyday citizens have to stand up against the big government agenda happening in Washington that is eroding our limited government, the principles that made our country great. So we don't have as robust of a limited government. We don't have free enterprise like we used to. We don't have national security as robust as we probably could.
You know, this administration and this Congress looks at all this, Virginia, and says, well, if things are so bad, why are the economic numbers looking up? Why is the market looking up? Why are the sentiment surveys looking up? And why is the dollar looking up? And so they go back and they say, if these Tea Partiers were right and we're going to hell in a handbasket, and Ginni Thomas is right and we're going to hell in a handbasket, then we sure find showing.
You know, you and I both know if we had a credit card, you can't keep spending without the day of reckoning. We know that. We have common sense. The truth is, Washington is broken. It's addicted to spending. It's addicted to power. And they're not even reading the bills anymore. Who knew that?
Well, obviously they didn't read a couple of big ones. All right, Virginia, thank you very, very much. Very, very good seeing you. Virginia Thomas. I tried with some of those legal questions. She's too good for me. All right, when we come back, we're going to be